honorable sisters, brothers, and friends. Just good morning, because I just turn on this computer and just record. Always up higher and better for those who deserve to be, of course, recognized and reasonably compensated. Therefore, in raising the state of the art of the discipline of theology, that's man's greatest challenge. What, in my opinion, is important is that there is the expression, music soothes the soul. I think through the history of man, when they realized that personally, as a group, psychologically, that music, poetry is considered the highest form of literature. And in my opinion, music is the highest form of speech, vocal presentation. And in poetry, I think the words should rhyme. You have four lines and then four sets of four lines that is brief, symmetrical, and that is real good poetic presentation. And in music, similar. You have four lines and maybe about 16 four groups of four lines. A group of four lines, another group of four lines, in which you, of course, it's usually about 3 minutes in a real good song. You sing the lyrics with the tune, then there's a brief intermission like where just maybe the music plays, and then you either repeat the lyrics with maybe a little more emphasis, or you say the second set of the lyrics. Well, what songs? Whatever soothes the soul. And just like, in my opinion, philosophy is the study of opinion, each person can hum their own tune. I hummed certain tunes, and then the standard, when I'm taking a shower, I can maybe croon some tune, and maybe the water gives your voice a little, what is it, vibrato, where it sounds reasonable to me. I did sing one song. I used to try to copy Bing Crosby. And I, self-critic from a humorous point of view, for sure, I had Bing Crosby's ears. So in that I'm similar. But I liked his style and the songs he sang. So I would try to imitate his voice. how he sang. Then when I heard Ezio Pinza in South Pacific, gee, that man has a great opera classical voice. And just for the heck of it, I'll try to imitate that. To my surprise, one time on the internet, I said, I'll just try it. And on the first take, I went all the way through, saying the words and hitting the notes, I think. I said, gee, but they always keep changing the format. And I then try to say, well, like right now, they had me absolutely stopped. All my videos, I can't play one of them on my websites, which is critical of what I'm presenting on my website. Is blocked, non-playable. I have to then do something that they say I have to do in order to get those. Well, I did that over and over again, and finally I was able to get back on. I still don't know if I have it on my website. And I said, well, I'll at least make this Raising a State of the Art of Discipline Theology and 24/7 truths. And to do that in a powerful, professional manner, they say you put your best foot forward first. And that is, as far as man's challenge and saying what you can do to obtain the best in that challenge, I'm absolutely sure I have obtained the best in the history of the human intellect in proving the divinity of God in Christ. Now, to raise the state of the art, you do that through proofs. Well, you're talking about religion, beliefs. Theology is the study of all beliefs. Well, I think you have to put forward at least your belief, whatever that belief is. And with yours truly, my belief is what I formed, the universal, anywhere in the universe, universal pure Christians. Not that I or we are purer than anyone else. It's that I say if you have your religion, you say religion is the best. If not, why then have your religion? You understand? So I say what I put forward is the best. The best comprehension, realization, and presentation of proofs of God and Christ's divinity. So the second proof is that first, God and Christ proved their divine power over nature. Now, if I recall correctly, because I do it from no prepared written speech or even outline or say various notes, I'm sure that what I'm presenting is the best. Now, second proof, the first was over nature, the second was over, I think, curing body and soul. He would cure a body by, and as a believer would then have obtained salvation by the power of God in Christ. So I think the second is, well, I'll refer to my notes just to be sure. I don't try to memorize especially chapter and verse. I concentrate on comprehending what the proof is, realizing how great it is, and in that proof's presentation. So I have time here, 10 minutes. You give you 15 up to 30 minutes. Healing a nobleman's son. That's what I thought, but I knew it was healing the person's health. So the first one, God and Christ proved their divinity over nature. The second, they proved their divinity over man. And now in the third, I know it's about then your sort of thinking belief. Let me see. Cures a demoniac in a synagogue. You understand? In the first three proofs, in my opinion, if Christ performed one miracle, that's divine proof. If he performed three miracles, that's three miracles. That's proof of God and Christ's divinity. His first three miracles, if you realize, the first was over nature. The second was over man, divinity over Christ's creation. If Christ could create a new hand that's flesh and bone, certainly God could create flesh and bone, man, humans. The third, which will be in my next presentation really, is Christ cures a demoniac in a synagogue. It's prove their divinity over thinking who and what you are, and to comprehend and understand and realize, and then present, if you want to, can and want to, their divinity. And that's where I'm at. I repeat with emphasis. I have put forward the best, greatest proof in the history of the human intellect of God and Christ's divinity. Now, how to say 24/7? Well, in the second proof, there was saving the life of a man's son. And that proves, as I've emphasized, as far as human nature. How can we then every day enjoy life, be happy, be sure we can obtain paradise? Well, you have to believe. You don't have to believe what I believe, but you have to, in my opinion, you have to be a believer. And if, like I say, what your belief is, say that's the best. If not, then you better try another belief. And I suggest mine. If you don't have any belief, or if you're not sure of your belief, well then consider mine. If you don't have a belief, or you don't think yours is correct, then I strongly suggest maybe you try my Universal Pure Christians. And that is, where poetry lifts literature. That I was told, because of my speaking voice and my English, and especially spelling and grammar, I better not consider being a politician, because I may not qualify to be a politician. And then I say, well then, raise your soul. This music soothes the soul. Raise up your intellect of appreciating the rhythm, that the melodious, great rhythm, and the poetry that there is and music. And now it's 15 minutes, so I'll get to the point and repeat the poem of trees. It was so good and popular, they put it to music. I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. Well, a great opera singer, they asked him how he never missed a performance. And he said, well, especially in wintertime, I use a little garlic. He says it really helps to keep from getting a cold in the voice. That works. He says, well, it works for your health, but he says, I have to be careful. I had one real prima donna that she would give me heck. So he says, but garlic is healthy for you, and it really would help my voice. So I've tried it, and that's how I hit Ezio Pinza's every word, every note. And I haven't tried it in a while. Then recently, they said that mushrooms, who they used to give my father a little heck because he knew how to select those big, sweet mushrooms, that you could have mushrooms and the parts of chicken. You have chicken and mushrooms, really great. And they say that mushrooms are number one and garlic is number two as far as your health and cholesterol for your system. So, and then they say a word to the wise is sufficient. Now, with that, I say, until tomorrow, smile. And on Wednesdays and the Thursdays, I have my happy hour. Until then, until tomorrow, or if you want to see my happy hour, you're invited, of course, and I thank you.